This is the typical Jesus if you look online and search pictures of Jesus. And many different Christian religions use this depiction of Jesus. And then we have the famous Last Supper picture of Jesus. And the one to the left is one of the oldest depictions of Jesus. And then we have exclusively Jehovah's Witness version of Jesus. Now, personally, I admit I actually do like Jehovah's Witness depiction of Jesus. See, if we go back to this one on the left, that person, they don't look as inviting as we would expect Jesus to look, in my opinion. So I think that Jehovah's Witness depiction of Jesus, or should I say their old depiction of Jesus, I think was a good depiction. I mean, let me know in the comments if I'm missing something, but I think that the Jehovah's Witness depiction of Jesus is decent. But you might have noticed something different, and that is the 2024 memorial advertisement with this picture of Jesus on it. Now, when I first seen this picture, I right away thought something doesn't look right. Like, why does he look different? Why did they change the way that Jesus looks? And it's not so much that they changed really much about his beard, so to say. It seems to be more so the expression on his face. Something seems off. And at first I couldn't put my finger on it, but I kept thinking, why did they make him look so different? That does not look like the Jesus that Jehovah's Witness normally draws. So then I thought, well, are they trying to rebrand Jesus, like they're trying to rebrand the religion? Well, I don't know how you can really rebrand a depiction of Jesus who lived in the first century, right? Thousands of years ago. That's not something that should be rebranded. He should always look how he was supposed to look back then when people believe he existed. So why does he look so different? So if you look at this picture compared to the last memorial picture, I'm sorry, this memorial on the left, that might not have been the last one. I'm not sure what year that, oh, it says 2014. Okay. But if you look at that one on the left, clearly it looks like a different person. Now, I'm not saying that the drawings always look like they're the same person, but the one on the left looks like they're depicting Jesus, and the one on the right, that just looks like some guy with a beard, right? It doesn't look, nothing looks Jesus about that. So when Jehovah's Witnesses had a unique, distinct look of Jesus that they usually stuck by, why does he look so different? So let me just show you a couple other pictures of Jesus so you can see better what I'm talking about. So if you take a look at this picture close up, right, it just, the expression on his face on the left and expression of his face on the right, it doesn't even seem like it's depicting the same person. As far as Jesus being a God's son and being love and kind, it doesn't even seem like it's the same person at all. But now let's just look at some other pictures of Jehovah's Witness literature. So this is a much older picture, you can tell, but the idea is still the same, right? The same type of beard, same kind of clothing, and kind of the same expression on his face, like this is Jesus. You know that this is Jesus just by looking at it. And then here's another one where he kind of looks like the drawing is a little different, but it's still kind of depicting the same thing. It still looks like Jehovah's Witness Jesus. And then in this one, again, even though you can tell that the artist is different, it still looks like Jesus. The expression on his face, like you get Jesus when you look at this. And that's just another picture of Jehovah's Witness Jesus. And again, Jesus. But when you look at this picture, doesn't it look off? So to me, what this looks like is my father was a narcissist. And when my dad would be lying about somebody, say, for example, if my dad was basically saying something bad about me and a person was believing him, he would kind of have a look like this on his face. I recognize this as my dad being a narcissist. That's what this looks like. Not that this looks like my father, but the expression on his face, it's like it looks like he's deceiving somebody. Right. And let me know in the comments if you can relate to what I'm saying, but this just looks like the face that my father always had when he was either getting away with slandering me to somebody or he was deceiving somebody else, but he had a look just like that. It's a look of like he's got something up his sleeve. And I've never seen Jesus look like this in Jehovah's Witness literature, especially for a memorial. Usually for the memorial treks, he always has an inviting look. And as far as I can remember going to JW memorials, I've never seen Jesus look like a narcissist like this, like the look on his face. It really looks like he's up to something. Now, going back to this memorial picture on the left, I would say that this guy looks trustworthy on the left, right? Maybe not like super trustworthy, but like normal, right? But the one on the right looks like he has something up his sleeve. So what I did was I took a scripture from the New World Translation, their version of the Bible of Judas. And I'm going to read what this scripture says. I believe I got this from Matthew, I think it's chapter 27. So, but you can use any verse of Judas. And as I'm reading this verse that's talking about Judas, does this guy look like he would more so be portraying Judas? Now, I know that he's not portraying Judas, but I'm just making a point that we know Judas had something up his sleeve. He couldn't be trusted. So when I read this, just look at this guy's face and let me know in the comments if it looks like this would more so, if this guy would more so apply to Judas than Jesus. Then one of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, "What will you give me to betray him to you?" They stipulated to him 30 silver pieces. So from then on, he kept looking for a good opportunity to betray him. Now, when I read that last part, looking for a good opportunity to betray him, doesn't that look like the look on his face, a deceptive look, like he's about to betray somebody? And I'm not saying that by any means he's meant to subliminally be Judas or anything like that. I'm not going there at all with that, but I'm just making the point that the look on his face looks like he can't be trusted, like he's a narcissist, like he has something up his sleeve, like he's about to betray somebody. And this is the face that they put on a 2024 memorial. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I usually just give you facts, and I'm very clear to give you facts, and then I analyze the facts, but the facts are the facts. Whether you disagree with my assessment or not, I usually just give you the facts. So this video is more just my opinion, right? This is just what I'm seeing. So let me know in the comments. I'm not saying like this can't be proven, but he looks very, very deceptive. So if you see the same thing that I'm seeing and you're following my train of thought with this, then let me just tell you what I think as far as me just speculating on this. So clearly he looks like he's got something up his sleeve, like he's being conniving and deceitful. And Jesus never came out looking like this in Jehovah's Witness literature. So they already have this on the website of the date for the memorial of 2025. And this is the picture that they still want us to see for memorial next year, 2025. Granted, they may decide to change it in a year from now, but this is the advertisement for already next year with this deceptive picture of Jesus. So what I'm getting at, and I'm just speculating, is that is the look on his face, the fact that it's subliminal, that they know that the memorial is deceitful, that it's not biblical the way that they do it, and that people who are Christian should partake if you're Christian, because all other Christian religions always partake. They call it communion. So is this the look of him knowing that he's being deceitful, that they're tricking people to go to the memorial and reject the bread and wine, that it's all a big charade, that they're being lied to about it? I mean, that's just the face. To me, it looks like a very deceptive look. Now, this is a picture of the memorial from jw.org, or this particular page is Watchtower Online Library, same thing. And when you look at that picture, does that look inviting or does it look kind of creepy, like kind of ritualistic? Or, I mean, is there anything godly about that picture? So I'm going to blow it up. Or I'm going to zoom on it right on jw.org. You can zoom in on it. And one thing that's kind of strange about this picture, and this is supposed to be praise to Jehovah, even though it's Memorial of Jesus, it gets kind of confusing how Jehovah's Witnesses believe. But at the memorial, their most important day of the year, as far as Jehovah's Witnesses, why are all their faces blurry and kind of creepy looking? Like if you see some of their faces through the wine glass, they look distorted, like the faces are distorted. And it's a kind of a strange picture that you would put for a memorial, like something that you want to be inviting and you want the public to come, and you want to be inviting so that everybody from the public wants to come and take part of this. Like it's kind of I feel it's a creepy looking image for jw.org. Why would this be an image they want to showcase for the memorial? And their faces are all blurred out. It looks kind of creepy. But another thing I notice is that if you see where my mouse is at, you see these little circles. Well, if this was a normal organization, I would say, well, this is a bad photograph, and these circles are just like the light, some sort of reflection of light. But this organization is the king of subliminal messages. So many times people get dust particles and light particles confused with what they call spirit orbs. And spirit orbs look similar. So for those who aren't familiar with the term, spirit orbs are sometimes when people take pictures, they get these like balls of energy, and some say that they're spirits or ghosts or something. But many times people will say, oh, it's just dust particles or it's just the light reflecting. So the light can reflect that way, and dust particles do look that way under a camera. But this picture is for the JW Memorial. and they put this on their website for millions of people to see. So for a professional photo for their website, would you have these dust particles or sloppy light particles like this? Like, wouldn't this be filtered out? So when you look at the faces blurry behind the glasses and everybody's faces are blurred for some reason, I don't know why they would do that. It seems like there could be some hidden message to that. And in fact, this is jw.org, the king of subliminal messages. Could these in fact be what they call spirit orbs, these balls of energy, or is it just the light? Now, again, I know that light sometimes can do that, but why would they put this photo out there? So I'm wondering, are these little circles something subliminal of like spirits, dark spirits that are here, and are their faces blurry for a reason? Because this seems like an unusual picture that they'd want to showcase for the memorial. Now, on the podcast that I have uh, with two other XJWs, we put this video out recently, The Roots of the JW Memorial, should you attend? And in this video, it's on the podcast, and I'll put a link below for the podcast that we discuss how the memorial is based on something called the Black Sabbath that is a rejection of Christ. So that making everybody touch the glasses and the emblems is a way that they're subliminally getting people to reject Christ. Now, whether you're religious or not, or believe in Jesus or not, that's just the whole thing with the Black Sabbath. That's the point of it. It's just to ritualistically reject Christ. So based on the roots of the memorial, and that video will explain more about it, and based on that creepy memorial picture, I just get a feeling that this look that he has, it is the look that you would expect somebody like Judas to have. And I feel like this look is the look of deception, right? He's got something up his sleeve. Like they're inviting you to the memorial to reject Christ and take part in something with demonic roots. So that's just my opinion. I can't say anything about that besides that's just what I think. You know, I can't prove that this is the look of he's got something up his sleeve. Maybe some people look at this and they say, yeah, that looks like Jesus. It looks just like Jesus, and there's nothing wrong with the way that he looks. But let me know in the comments, am I seeing things, or does he look like he's got the look of deceptive, of being deceptive, like he's got something up his sleeve, like he's trying to portray somebody? And if you see the same thing that I'm saying, then the question is, why would they put this photo on their memorial? Why would they use a photo like this where it looks like he's being deceptive and he's lying to invite people to what Jehovah's Witnesses say is the most important day of the year?